this is Ali. Welcome to my channel. If you like this video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And in the description below is an email address. You can email me a question and I will do a video to answer your question. I hope you're all keeping well and keeping safe. There's a lot of people that are suffering with anxiety and depression. Depression basically is caused, and anxiety is caused by negative thought patterns. So the more a negative thought pattern we have, it builds up and builds up, the momentum gets going, and before you know it, it turns into anxiety and depression. This is something we want to kind of stop before it gets to that point. You want to try and stop the momentum of it before it builds up too much. It's like the car going down the road. If you stop the car at the beginning of the hill, it's easier to stop. Once that momentum's built up, you won't stop that car. So it's the same thing. You need to stop it as early on as you can. The way to stop this is to get the more positive thought processes going. So we need to break the cycle of the negative thought processes. Now, how we go about doing this is, if we keep getting negative thoughts, we don't fight against those negative thoughts. So let the negative thoughts come in. Let them come in, but don't give them any power. So don't fight against them. The more you fight against a negative thought, the more power you give it, and it will push against you. You create that resistance against it, and it will push against you, and it increases. So don't allow that. So just when a negative thought comes in, just let it pass over you. Don't give it any momentum. Don't push against it. Let it come in. Try not to give it any emotion. And the minute you give emotion to a thought process is when it starts to manifest. And it again increases momentum because you've given it emotion. So if you can let that thought process come in, so you don't want the emotion of hating it, you don't want the emotion of the fear, you don't want any negative emotion. Any thought process you have that creates a powerfully positive emotion in you is wonderful. That's what you want all the time. But as soon as you get a negative emotion, then that's what you don't want. Now, any negative emotion that we get, it only means that we are out of alignment with our inner being. That's all it means, is that we are going against what our inner being knows is how we should feel. We didn't come into this life to be unhappy. We didn't come into this life to be fearful. We came into this life to be happy. We came into this life to be the best that we can be and live the best that we can live. So when we feel any negative emotion, it is that we are out of alignment, and we need to then just get ourselves back into alignment. So when we get these negative thought processes, we just, like I say, try not to give them any emotion and just let them pass over us and let them go. This is difficult to start off with. It takes some practice, but once you start to do it and you consciously start to do it, and this is what makes the big difference, is you need to consciously actually do this. Once you start to consciously do this and just acknowledge that that is a negative thought that's coming in, and actually, okay, it doesn't serve me, so I'm just going to let it bide. I'm just going to let it just come in and go. Once you start doing that, then these things will start to lose their power. It happens quite quickly. Once you are aware, and it all is be aware and making that conscious decision that I don't want this. This is not what I want. So once you can start to do that, they will stop to come in. And when they do come in, they won't have the power, and you'll know that you don't need that you can stop these, that you don't have to have these negative thoughts, that they can just come in, and actually they are not going to control you. Now, with any thought process, once you've had a thought process for 17 seconds, and once you've gone for another 17 seconds, and once you've gone up to 68 seconds, you are in manifesting zone. Then you are in, this is how we manifest stuff, especially once you add emotion to that. That is sowing the seed. So again, we need to be mindful that actually when we're going into a positive thought process, then that's fine. We can carry on and let this go, and it's amazing. But when it's a negative thought process, we need to break that momentum before we get to that 68 seconds. It's easier to stop the momentum before you get to that seed being sown than it is to stop that seed from growing once it's sown. So be very mindful that once you start getting down a negative pathway, that you're doing so. And just say, right, that's okay. I'm going to stop. This is, I don't need this. Just let it come in and let it pass. When a negative thought comes in and you manage to let it pass, replace it with 2 positive thoughts. Think of 2 things positive around you that you can then go for 17 seconds, another 17 seconds, up to 68 seconds, so that you can replace that negative with 2 positive ones. Now, there are some people out there that have not got anything positive in their lives. There really are some people that this lockdown has affected so badly that they're actually, some people don't have children that they can focus on. Some people are struggling where they live, and some people are living in, really small places, 1 room and no garden, not being able to go out, and really are struggling, not being in contact with anybody. And that's really difficult to focus on a positive aspect of your life. When your life feels that bad, to actually then focus on 1, let alone 2 positive aspects is really, really difficult. So at that point, go general. So by general, I mean just look at something general that's nice. So think about butterflies or flowers or blue glass. That's one of Abraham Hicks's. She often uses blue glass, and you'll be surprised that once you start thinking about blue glass, you'll see blue glass everywhere. But because there's no emotion to it, so you won't give a damn whether you see blue glass or not, but there's no negative emotion to it. So that's the whole point, is there isn't a positive emotion to it, but there's also no negative emotion to it. So you're just actually putting out there that, oh, blue glass is lovely, nice. It's nice, blue glass. Just thinking about something that actually you don't give a damn about. But it will raise your vibration. So it starts to raise you. And once you start to raise, and you can keep that thought process going for that 68 seconds, the next thought process that comes will be raised. You will instantly your whole vibration will raise up. Your emotions will start to raise. And once you keep this going, this is how you build up this positive momentum, and you just keep it going and keep it going and keep it going. If you go to the point where you're starting to think about something really, really positive in your life that you want, and a negative thing slips in, which can happen, again, don't stress about the negative thing. Don't beat yourself up and say, oh, a negative thing came in. No, don't beat yourself up. Just go back to the basics again. So start again of going back to the whole generalization, generally think about something that's okay, and then just build on it and build on it and build on it. And before you know it, you will stop this negative momentum. Now, we all get days where you can wake up some days and it's not going to be a good day. Some days they're just not a good day. When this happens, just do the same thing. So start off in the morning, just doing your meditation, and start off with trying to make yourself feel good. And if you're getting negative emotion, again, just be mindful that, all right, this isn't a good day, but it's okay. We can't all have, yesterday was a great day. We can't have every day the same as that. It's just not natural, and it's just not going to happen. So just know that this isn't a great day, but actually it's going to get better. Everything gets better. This will soon be over. Everything gets better. And I'm having a bad day today, but that's okay. And before you know it, what was a bad day when it first started off will actually start to be, actually, this isn't such a bad day now, and it's okay, and I can, I can get through today, and by the end of it, it could even turn out to be a really good day. So it's just having that, thought process, and not beating yourself up about it, and not trying to fight against the negative thing. Just understand that that's what it is, but just decide that actually that is what it is, but actually I don't want that, so I'm not going to have that. The other thing to do, which is really, really helpful, is to smile. If you smile or laugh, you can't be unhappy, and you can't be negative when you're smiling and when you're laughing. You just can't do it. If you try it, you can't do it. When you're smiling, you instantly lift every part of your body. You lift your face, and you lift all the stress out of your body. It just lifts. And I get that sometimes there is nothing to smile about, and it's really difficult for people to smile. But if you can just try and keep telling yourself, I'm going to smile. And, just bring a smile out. And watch something, find something that a rerun of something that you watched as a child that you thought was hilarious. It doesn't matter if it's the craziest thing ever, and in fact you could watch it now and think, oh my god, how did I find that really that funny? Or you could find it even funnier than you did back then. But just find something that actually you really enjoyed, that you know will make you laugh, or that you know will actually give you that little good feeling, even if it's like that, oh my God, it's cringeable, but it's still funny. And just watch these things just to raise your vibration. Music, again, is another one that's amazing. So if you can listen to music, any music you like, absolutely amazing. Just listen to whatever you like. It doesn't matter. If you can't listen to it on your stereo because you've got other people in the house, then just put it on your headphones and have a listen to it. Listen also to anything on YouTube, you know, the mindful stuff on YouTube, law of attraction stuff, anything that can boost your vibration when you're listening to, make you feel positive. You want anything that can bring the more positive mindset. That's what you're looking for, and the happier emotion. And the more you can do this, then the negative emotion will start to release, and you will find it easier to just go naturally into a positive emotion. You won't go straight into the negative emotion. Once you're mindful of what you're doing, and you decide you want to break that cycle, you can do it quite quickly. A lot of people are stuck in these cycles because they don't even know they're doing them. They're just in a negative downward spiral, and they haven't even noticed that they're doing them. Or they tell themselves, well, I can't do anything about it. I've always been like this. But we can break every habit. All of the mindsets we have are what we got from patterns as a child, and we've just stayed within those patterns. And some of these patterns can be quite hard to break, because some of these things that have happened to people in their childhoods is absolutely horrendous. So some of these patterns can be quite hard to break, but any pattern can be broken. It is just your mindset and you telling yourself that you want to break this pattern. Acknowledging that you are stuck in a pattern and wanting to change that pattern is the two biggest things you can do, because once you set you're ready to go. You've acknowledged that you're in a bad pattern, and you know you want to break it, and then the only way is up from there, because you just each day, step by step, and it is baby steps, but baby steps make big steps. You know, you can't do everything overnight. Nothing's going to happen overnight, but surely it's far better to want to be in a positive mindset and to think, right, do you know what? When I go to bed tonight, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning in a slightly better mindset than I was today. And tell yourself at night before you go to bed, you can meditate, or you can just tell yourself, I'm going to feel great tomorrow. I'm going to feel better than I did today. And go to sleep with that mindset that tomorrow is going to be a much better day. And each day it will be a better day. And when you wake up in the morning, before you allow anything to set you off down the wrong track, don't look at your emails and don't look at Facebook. Don't look at anything until you've had your time. Give yourself your time in the morning. Give yourself half an hour, depending on what you can give yourself. Give yourself that time in the morning to just do what you want to do to make yourself feel good. So, you know, it could be meditating, it could be reading, it could be just listening to stuff, it could be putting some music on in the headphones, it could be just exercising, it could be anything, but just give yourself that time in the morning. Before, you know, I know some kids get up early. I mean, I'm quite lucky because my boy doesn't get up early, so I tend to have to wake him up. And he's quite self-sufficient in that when he does get up, he will just go on his iPad for half an hour before we do anything else. So I get that bit of time, which is lovely. And again, you know, if you can't get it in the morning because of the children, then get it later in the day. But try and do something first thing, just to, even if it means getting up half an hour earlier, just to give yourself that, to set yourself up. So give yourself that start. Even if it's just listening to 10 minutes of some positivity on YouTube or whatever, just someone, you know, one of the gurus talking about something positive, or just rambling on about something, just anything that makes you feel great. And be kind to yourself. So be nice to yourself. Stop beating yourself up about this, that and the other. Don't, you know, if you haven't done the schoolwork that the school set, so do it another day. You don't, you know, I'm not doing the amount of school hours that would be done at school. There's no way my son is going to sit through the amount of school hours that would be done at school. And actually, I'm going to bore him because, you know, I'm not a teacher. So I'm not trained to teach him how the school teachers are taught to teach him. And also as well, he doesn't, you know, he respects me as his mum, but he doesn't respect me as he does his teacher. It's a different area. You know, he'll go to school and he'll do anything the teacher says. You know, she's got him eating at the palm of her hands. He will do anything. She's the most wonderful person that ever walked the earth, because he's in a school, and because that's, you know, the teachers, they command that respect, and also there's the peer pressure of all the other children there. You're not suddenly going to start going against your teacher when everybody else is in there doing what they're told. So you conform to that, and actually it works wonders in how kids learn, because they will listen to the teacher. They want to listen to the teacher. But when you're at home trying to do that, you know yourself, your child will argue with you. You know, the sky is blue, but if he says it's red, it's going to be red, and that is not going to change. But you know, it's different dynamics at school. So there's no way any of us can teach, unless we are trained teachers, obviously. No way any of us can teach to the standard that they are going to teach at school. So we've got to stop beating ourselves up about it. We've just got to know that actually we're doing our best. So if we can only do a couple of hours schoolwork, we're doing a couple of hours schoolwork. That's better than no hours schoolwork. And if you get some days where there are no hours of schoolwork, again, don't beat yourself up. A lot of this is we need, you know, we've got small children, some of us, that actually we need to be more worrying about their mental state in this and keeping them happy. And I've got to say, my son is unaffected by any of this, absolutely unaffected by this. The only thing he doesn't like is the fact that he can't actually go out and play with his friends. If he could go and visit his friends and play, this would be perfect for him, because, you know, he doesn't have to get up early in the morning, he doesn't have to go to school, he can spend all day with me, which he loves. He's basically getting more free time on his iPad than he's ever had. The only downside is, you know, he can talk to his friends on the iPad and on FaceTime, which is lovely, because, you know, they've got these gadgets that they're able to do this. But, you know, the only thing is he can't actually go out and play with his mates. He can't go and have a play date at someone's house, or they can't come here. And that's the only thing, that's the only issue that he's got, which I think is good, because the last thing you want are these children being so mentally affected by what's going on, because we're stressing and because we're trying to force them to do this and this, and making the whole house just a really anxious place to be. And it doesn't need to be like that. So be kind to yourself, and just, you know, and chill out, and don't beat yourself up. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. The main thing to worry about is the fact that your child's mental state is fine. And if it means you chill out on certain things and some things go by the wayside, to make sure that they are happy and, you know, just getting along with this, then that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, we're not here to force them to do this and do that. We're here to just make this, you know, as pleasurable as we can in this, well, this is happening, and then actually then integrate them back into school when that time comes, to get them back to normal, so that this can just be something that happened in the past that a lot of them won't have a lot of memories of when they're older. They will just, you know, it will just be gone. And in fact, the memories they'll have will be great ones anyway, because they might hear a little bit of talking going on around it, but actually they don't really understand it. And as long as they're not seeing the stress from us, they're not going to feel it anyway. They take on our stresses, don't they? And, you know, the last thing we want is to suddenly give them more issues than they ever would have had, because we're having the issues. So the issues are coming from us. We don't want to be pushing them onto our children. So again, this positive mindset, the more positive you can be, and the more chilled out you can be with everything that's going on, the better it's going to be for your children, because they're going to learn from you. If you're not bothered and you're not fazed and they're not seeing you scared, then they've got no reason to be scared at all. And like I say, my son has no fear at all about any of this. No fear at all. He knows he's at home at the moment. He knows this is how it is. He's not asked when he's going to go back to school. He's, you know, he knows he's going to go back to school, because I've said to him, well, you'll be going back to school somewhere. But I've not said when. And we've not emphasised anything around this. So there's no fear coming. So, you know, it's a chilled place to be. And it's the same, you know, with the mindset. So your positive mindset will help your child to have a positive mindset. And the earlier your child can have a positive mindset in their lives, then the more positive they'll be as they get older. And then they won't have the negative mindsets that a lot of us have got, and that a lot of us have been brought up with those. So they won't have these battles to deal with. They will just naturally have this positive mindset. you know, and they will know if you get a negative thought, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I hope that that's helpful, and I hope that you're all keeping well. And like I say, if you did like this video, then please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you soon. Thank you.